looking for the hour hand, and it's the shorter hand. What is the shorter hand telling you? Okay. Anna is doing her Joan of Arc and babysitting Malachi.
Huh? It hurts. Oh, that's because I already hit you. You have one more life.
Happy Thursday! Yesterday we came home from church and these envelopes, and one for Anna too, were taped to the door, and it says, "Ahoy mateys, it's dinner on the high seas. Dinner Thursday night, 5 o'clock or later at Yaya's house." So she went to all this trouble to send the kids fancy invitations. So I do not know what tonight is going to bring, but it's very exciting, isn't it? Isn't it? Are you so busy on your math? Lydia did math, a little bit of spelling. She also did her journal entry. Can I show them?
Yeah, sure.
So, here's her journal. And it says, "I am fasting for my first time. It is very hard because I see food. Have you?" The end. So Lydia has been begging us forever to let her fast. And today?
That's for today, not tonight. Because if I do it tonight, I don't think it will be very kind to Yaya.
Yeah, okay. So she's going to fast breakfast and lunch. She's not going to fast for breakfast and lunch. She wants to, but I'm going to let her off. It's just something she's always wanted to do. So instead of saying no, I said yes, and we'll just see how long it goes, and this will be the opening of a good discussion. Okay, so we're doing spelling today through Essentials, and we just made it over to level B, and I did something kind of cool, and Dustin took notice and said, "Have you vlogged this today? You should probably do that. That's a really cool trick." So I'm like excited that he thinks it's a cool trick. Okay, so we're doing homophones, and we're doing the difference between leak and leak. Anna, why do we have a drop of water on that A?
Because it's like a water leak, and the drop rests on the A.
Okay, and then what is a leek?
It's a type of vegetable.
And what does it make you think?
Eek.
Eek. We did capital and capital. One is with a capital A and one is with an O. Why did we put a capital A here?
Because it reminds us that it's for letters, because it's a capital letter, but it's also the beginning of the alphabet, which makes us know it's a capital letter at the beginning. And
it's also capitals of states. What's the capital of Maryland, where we used to live?
Annapolis.
Annapolis. And then if you do an O, why did we do an O? A capital with an O stands for the Capitol building in Washington,
D.C.
And why did we put an O?
Because Poppy got me this flag that was flown on my birthday, 2011, and
where was it flown?
D.C.
Over the top of the Congress.
Capitol building. And what does it make your face do?
That's right.
It makes an O. And then we have one more. Lose and loose. And lose is so sad because he lost his extra O. And then loose, if you have an extra O, just like your pants have an extra size, they're going to be
too big.
They're going to be
loose.
So those are our homophones that we're using in spelling this week.
And I just want to go on record, I got those flags for all 3 kids. All right, so today I'm doing my quiet time for the day. If you want to hear a devotional thought, click here.
It's delicious. She said, "Thank you for this lunch. It's delicious." So we have Mickey Mouse, waffles, sausage, eggs, and grits. Here, let's see if we can get a look at Mickey Mouse. Yep. There's Mickey Mouse. Pancake, banana waffles. Lydia, look at her plate. She did a great job. So we let her go through breakfast, and it was a good experience, but we're not going to let it go further today.
Yeah.
We'll do more later, and we'll talk about fasting, other things too, like sweets or electronics.
Yeah, but my cut it down.
Poppy, what are you eating? Sausage?
And my mix, and then boom, liver mush. Come on now. We got liver mush.
This is the last of it.
Oh!
Someone gifted us homemade liver mush.
The best thing in the
So
world.
Dustin's doing a liver mush sandwich. Gross.
Yes, that's very personal there.
Cheese
You got real close to that
grits.
with my camera.
Cheese grits,
Yep.
scrambled eggs, sausage, and bacon bits.
Lord bless this wonderful meal in Jesus' name, amen.
Well, Dustin's working on taxes.
And closing Spark Plug and Patriot. Closing. Here's Patriot
Closing some open windows.
stuff. Windows closed. Girls are playing. They've been playing outside and getting some recess time in this wonderful weather. I mean, we've had it. It's like 71 out here again today. And it's March, so they're getting as much sun time as possible because it's supposed to snow on Sunday. What the? So anyways, we're out here enjoying that. Lori's reading to the kiddos out there. Look at Rev, he's in the sun too. Everybody is enjoying the sun today. School in the yard, how about that? While I do taxes. So today is bittersweet. I'm in the middle of closing windows because God's got pretty much our trajectory laid out. And so in the process of this, I have to close 2 entities today. One of them I have been over since 1997. It started before I was ordained in the ministry, and that's after I was licensed, but it's before I was ordained, and it has been with me since revival and everything else. And so, long story short, it's done. I had to be done. Spark Plug is closing. So I'm thankful for Spark Plug Ministries and all the folks who are involved in it over the years who've sent me around the world to do all that stuff. But in this season, it's time to close that window. And PTT, Patriot Transition Technologies, I had a real desire to help veterans in transition technologies. We were blocked by some government entities, and so I wanted to take it on my own. I did, and what I realized in the middle of it, I don't need a corporation. I don't need a stock holding corporation to do that. So I'm closing it up, letting it go. I'm closing everything in Maryland. This is the end of any tie to Maryland. It's the end to a title of business and the nonprofit. And now I am just Dustin. I'm a guy who volunteers as a pastor on a pastoral team at a huge church, but I don't take a paycheck. I don't want it. They put it back in the ministry. And I'm the guy who now works as a consultant at a business I started called 714 Consulting. Now, Daniel Kim, my bro in prayer for all these years, and goes back to the dates where we were at Carolina. He is the managing partner, and I am just a consultant. All of those different strange things that came with this and other stuff I've been connected to, those doors are closed. Those things have ended. Maybe there are things that you need to close some doors on. Maybe there's some stuff that you need to end and finish. Maybe you need to close some windows. And I'm just sharing actually what I heard from Elevation Church from Pastor Stephen Furtick there. He was talking about closing windows. We have too many open. We can't shoot the arrow out of the window to find the distance and lay claim to what God's put in our vision if we've got too many windows open. Windows closed. Boom. All right, Mommy and Poppy are getting ready to go out on date night, and kiddos are going over to have a party of some sort at Yaya's.
She even sent us a letter.
There were invitations on the door last night, so they're gonna go have fun. Looks like a Jake event.
Jake?
Yeah, that looks like fun.
Maybe pirate food.
So did you guys have fun running around the yard all afternoon?
Do you know what I would like?
We did school.
And school in the yard too? School inside in the yard. Cool. I didn't see it. Yeah, they did school, but
I like a bottle of water you poured on me.
I'm not poured on you. How about drinking it? All right, let's go. Time for Yaya's. Girls decided they want to see where Greenie Hass's grave was, and I told them I'd show them a couple other things about this graveyard. This is where Mom's family really invested in helping plant this church back in its early days. So here's where Granny house is. She's right here. Where Grandpa house is. Years ago I did her funeral. So Papa died when I was 3. I said I was really close to him. He's one of my middle names. And then Granny, she's the kiddo's great granny. She really looked after us. We lived on the backside of that farm there with her. So when she passed, like I said, I did the funeral 2013 right here for Miss my Granny. Alright, so over here, some more family. This is Uncle Byron and Aunt Ruby. Ruby just passed this past year. Uncle Byron, I was actually in D.C. when they had the funeral. Missed it. So anyway, this is some of our family. Uncle Byron and Aunt Ruby lived right down the road from us. They lived on another part of the Hass farms. There's a few different farms that great-great-grandpa or great-grandpa gave to them. Let's go on over here. So this is my family too. It's great uncle and great aunt Margaret, Carl Williams, well, actually Lewis, he went by. So Margaret's right here. And they lived on the land beside Granny's that my great-granddad gave them. So this is your great aunt and uncle, 2 greats. So yeah. So this is cousin Edith and I. This is my granddad's cousins. Nina really spent a lot of time with us, and Edith did too. Edith did as well. Edith lived in D.C. for a while. This is my great uncle Henry and Maud, great aunt and great uncle. And Maud was related to Grandpa Hass. They were brother and sister, which leads us over here to Maggie Hass and Brooks Hass. This is my great granddad. So this is Lee Brooks Sr., who my granddad over there is Junior. Maggie was a Wilson, so they married brothers and sisters. So Lee Brooks married Henry's sister, and Henry married Lee Brooks' sister. So they were double first cousins on both sides. Pretty cool stuff. And my great uncle Henry and Aunt Maud were really strong Christians. They were the bedrock of this church with my great granddad. So I think that's how it goes. And then over here, this is the one that's kind of the most important to the story. This is Lee Johnson Hass. And so this is Julia E. Hass, and Lee Johnson is my great-great-grandfather, and he came here because his daddy never came back from the Civil War. Now, does anybody know the story about the grandparent, or my great-great-great-granddad, that his daddy never came back from the Civil War? Do you remember where he fought?
Is that the one?
He fought at Gettysburg, and then where was he put in prison camp?
Gettysburg?
No, Point Pleasant, Maryland. He died in Point Pleasant, Maryland.
We had to drive all that way.
So you want to hear something cool? Today is the first day that somebody's probably stood here with him, who's been to see where his daddy died. Talk about bringing things around full circle. I hadn't done that yet. So this is officially the first point where somebody came back and said, "We found your daddy." And he found his daddy. He didn't know where his daddy ended up. Can you imagine? He never knew where his daddy ended up. They didn't know. And even my family members that tried to find his daddy, they went to the wrong place. Because remember, I found that special record that told where he was buried, and it wasn't really at the monument. That's right. So that's the story. So Lee Johnson Hass, who's the first of the Lees, that's where my name came from. My middle name, Lee, is right here. Can you believe that? What do you think? Talk about redemption.
It's sort of sad that he never came back.
His daddy never was able to come back. He died of pneumonia right before he was released from prison at the end of the war. Can you believe it?
What's pneumonia?
Now listen, pneumonia is a sickness you get in your lungs. And here's the story. So Lee Johnson, because his daddy didn't come back, he left the land in Newton because his great aunts didn't give it to him, and he moved down here, and that's how we ended up in Iredell County. That's how my family ended up here. And if he didn't move down here, Yaya and Papa would have never met, and I'd never been born. Can you believe that? Lee Johnson. He's the one that came down from Catawba. Very thankful. And here is Aunt Opal and Uncle Bruce. They're buried here. And so all the family's right here nearby, you know. So here we go. So here's where the Moores are, and there's where the Hasses and Wilsons are, and all the way back over there for my great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents. They all went to this church and all were in this community. Trinity Church has a long history here from Civil War era on. My family also had planted a church up in Granite Falls, North Carolina, before they came down here. And that's of the more recent family. I know that my extended family, my extended ancestors, started some of the first churches here in America, including the one at that had to do with Jamestown, and as well as some of the other colonies. So it's pretty amazing. I know one of my ancestors is written on the wall at the first church there, and it's related to Jamestown, because it's Isle of Wight or whatever. But these folks are good, God-fearing people, and they really invest in the community here. It's interesting to be back here and just to get to see them, see where they're laid to rest again, and be a part of this again. Don't know why. God's got a reason.
Yep, that's gotta be the one.
For it to be a green and be hard to catch like that, makes sense. It's probably a ditto. Let's see. All right. Oh, we caught it on film. There it is, and we caught a ditto. That's what it's like to catch ditto right there, folks. That is good.
I think Malachi should get that.
Did you find a gold?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I see
You
it.
guys. Malachi, are you excited?
Yes. What?
Date night canceled.
Yeah. No. There's cotton up.
What?
It's a treasure.
Oh, but you can't until after dinner.
Whoa.
It's after dinner.
Oh my goodness. There's a treasure hunt.
My treasure hunt.
Wow.
Oh, let me see your masks.
Give me heart teeth.
I love
I just going to
this.
sail the 7
Oh my
seas.
goodness. Oh my, Malachi, go get your mask on. Look, you guys got your mask. That's so
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
But Captain Mountain, what should we do first?
Oh my goodness.
Should we eat our food first?
Well, I gotta be honest with you.
No, don't.
We ate some barbecue.
That's it. Family
Sonny's. I got all you could eat. I made it worth the money. I don't usually eat like that. Sometimes it just makes you happy inside. Thank you, Sonny's Barbecue. Date night. Boom.